Okay, so this video is going to show some virtual math manipulatives and how you might use those to support your students at home. So if you go to toytheater.com, it will come up with a bunch of virtual manipulatives that you may use in your normal classroom that your students don't have access to at home. So this would be a way to show them. Um, with that visual support that manipulatives provide. So when you scroll down, there's a bunch of games and stuff. But then if you go to virtual manipulatives and click on that box, there are a ton of different things. So one possibility might be dice are involved with a lot of different games and they're cheap, but some students might not have them at home. So let's say, for example, you wanted to have 2 dice and you wanted to have, let's see, a dodecahedron. And so you could have students roll these to practice their math facts. And 10 times 5, etc. You could also, we could keep 2 and change it. Let's say we were practicing adding and subtracting multiples of 10. So let's see, I think that says 10 and 60. Kind of hard to see. Okay, so then if I wanted to explain to a student a strategy of how to think about that conceptually, I might go to the base 10 blocks, because that would be a tool that I would typically use with students to think about that, and show how I would start with 10 with just one 10 rod, and then make my 60, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then use my plus sign in there to show that I'm adding 10 plus 60 to give me a total of 70. Oh, and I didn't even notice you could use the digits too by just dragging and dropping. So, of course, if you bring home your own manipulatives and you end up conferencing with students with a web camera, you could be showing them this, but by bringing it to their screen, it might be more effective just for them to see it more clearly, more up close, rather than a tiny, um, visual that you're holding up from home. So some other things that they have on there that I know are frequently used by teachers, 10 frames. So really good. They've got 2 different tools, 2 different colors, I should say, as well as a coloring tool. So, however you would normally use these tools, you could use them on here. Because if you're projecting your screen to them, they can be seeing what you're doing and using this to help you explain whatever concept it is that you're trying to teach. Hundreds chart, that's a frequently used one. So going back to that same example with the 10 plus 20, I might say, okay, oops. If I start with 10, so you got to be kind of careful, especially if you're using a mouse keypad. It's kind of hard to move some of these things around, but starting with 10 and then using a different color on the hundreds chart to show adding 60. And probably you would want to do it in rows of 10 rather than the way that I just did it, but I'm trying to just do it kind of quickly for you guys. But hundreds charts are a tool that I frequently see teachers using, and with different colors. So these are just some tools that you might want to use.